All right, today I'm sitting down with a fellow mining content creator and we're gonna talk our predictions for mining in 2024. We're gonna cover what hardware we think might be coming out. We're gonna cover, what mining software updates might be happening, as well as what we think mining profitability will look like in this next year. So just keep in mind, these predictions are mostly just for fun. We don't have any insider information or anything along those lines. But with that said, let's get right into it after a quick word from our sponsor. CoinLedger is a crypto and NFT tax software built to save you time and help maximize your tax refund. Thankfully, CoinLedger has made the process of doing this super easy. All you have to do is sign up for an account and link your crypto wallets. That's it. What CoinLedger then does is it looks at the transaction data of those wallets and uses that to automatically generate a tax report for you in your country's local currency. You can then take this report and export it into any tax filing software like TurboTax or TaxAct, or you can send it off directly to an accountant. Best part is that if you use my link in the description below, you can sign up and use CoinLedger entirely for free. And once you're happy with the reports and are ready to export, you can save 10% by using my discount code 𝗧. So make sure you click on that link in the video description below for more details. All right, I'm here with Hobbyist Miner. You have probably seen him on my channel before. Hobbyist, thank you so much for coming on and talking to me a little bit about predictions for 2024.
We know everything. I can't wait to share.
Oh, no, stop it. So yeah, okay, so that's something I wanted to start this off by saying. Look, we actually don't know anything. We have no insider information, and also we're just two random dudes on the internet making some predictions for fun here. This is not financial advice or anything like that. We're just kind of, predicting stuff for fun. I'm rambling. Let's get started instead.
Let's get into it. Let's go.
Some hardware predictions for 2024. And I'm going to start us off with what I think. And that is that I think mostly what we will see in terms of hardware is new altcoin miners, specifically ASICs from Bitmain. 𝗖𝗢𝗜𝗓 probably has something else coming, and maybe other manufacturers as well. But I think with like how Bitmain throughout like the second half of 2023 was kind of like a Monero ASIC and the Z15 ASIC, the Equihash ASIC, and they were kind of just like going ham on all these different altcoin ASICs, right? And I think that will probably keep going. And what coins we will see new ASICs for is probably gonna be dictated just by what coins are gonna be the most profitable. Like, where is there the most money to be made for companies like Bitmain and 𝗖𝗓𝗓? So it's also most likely gonna be coins that have algorithms that are more suitable for ASIC miners. Coins like Radiant, Alephium. I think you have kind of a bit of some thoughts there, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it'll be really interesting. I mean, Bitmain really does steer the ship at the end of the day. Like, and I think we can all agree with that. And we do have to remember too that like it takes time for them to put these units out. So it's like if a coin pops today, the ASIC's not here tomorrow. But what happens is Bitmain actually has enough influence in the scene that like they drop rumors of a certain unit coming out, and all of a sudden people start mining it and trading it a lot, thinking of that. So what comes to mind is like 100% a rumor here, but I've heard a rumor that like Bitmain will be coming out with an Alephium miner. And I think that is phenomenal, like awesome, another altcoin. It's also GPU mineable, but it's a double-edged sword because like how's that going to affect Alephium for us GPU miners?
Yeah, no, 100%. And if that's a positive or a negative, it completely depends on your perspective on those things. Moving on though, because we have a lot of things I want to get through here, is next up is like Bitcoin ASICs. And I don't think, because we just got this like new generation of Bitcoin miners announced, released. We might see a slight performance bump, but I would say that would probably be more towards the end of 2024 in that case, rather than anything coming within like the first half. What do you think?
I agree 100%. I mean, we've had a lot of ASICs launched in anticipation of the halvening coming up in somewhere around April. I mean, the S19K Pro, the M60s, the S21s, all of these units have been kind of published and put out there, and some of them have released, some of them haven't yet, in anticipation for the halving. So I think these will hold us over till then, but I absolutely believe that 𝗦𝗏𝗏 or Bitmain will have a little bit beefier units coming out on the last half of the year.
Yeah, no, for sure. And speaking of kind of like incremental upgrades, I'm kind of of two minds, but I don't think we're gonna see anything significant happen with Caspa miners. It's just because I feel like Bitmain's kind of gone all out using, at least I think so, their 3 nanometer chip in their K3, and seeing as like the wind miner kind of on par in terms of efficiency. Like I think if anything, we'll probably see price cuts on the miners rather than new miners coming out with better efficiency or higher performance. I don't know if you think differently there in terms of Caspa.
Yeah, Caspa's kind of tough. It's kind of been a dip a little bit here around that 10-cent mark. We did see a little bit of a pump the other day of it coming up. I think that Caspa hype has dried up a little bit. I mean, it's been consistent profit. I mean, my KS2, I love it. My KS0, KS0 Pros, they're making me some money. I really do appreciate it. I think you're right when you talk about a little bit with Bitmain and like their progress. I feel like Bitmain was very late to the game with their units and wasn't as successful as what we all would have thought. And Ice River really stole the show there. But yeah, I don't see a lot changing because especially with that profitability going down and down and down just every single day, the way that it's built in the mechanics. I think you're right. I think Caspa is a great stable one to get into. Great to get a miner, but I don't think we're going to see any crazy hardware coming out here.
Yeah. And just because I feel like we need to cover them, Gold Shell, I don't see them coming out with anything groundbreaking. And honestly, like I know they just talked on Twitter about launching a miner for a new algorithm, and that being either 𝗘𝗏, K heavy hash, or like Starcoin. But I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be anything. I'd love for
it to be a Caspa miner just to have more miners out there available. I think that's great. I think if it is a Caspa miner, K heavy hash, it's gonna be something for home miners. It's not going to be like one of their lights or one of their full size. I think it's really going to be like a mini box miner. My best guess is probably, something like a Starcoin one or something like that, because that hasn't had any miners in years. But unfortunately, like there's no demand for that. Like who is asking for that right now? No one. So unfortunately, I don't see anything. I think groundbreaking is a great word to use there. I don't see anything groundbreaking coming out of Gold Shell.
No, and just because I feel like we need to cover this too, and I know I might get some pushback on this, but I think the local tech hash blades are real, and I think they're probably gonna come out end of 2024, something like that. Now, full transparency, I did go to their office and talk to them. I know you've also talked in person with them. Yeah, I'm not gonna say for certain either way. All of you need to like make up your own minds on what you think about them, and I'm not gonna say go pre-order them for certain because like you make your own decisions here. All I will say is that it's my kind of personal thought that I think they're probably real, and I think they're probably coming out next year. That is my prediction, and it's a prediction. It's not a fact. All right.
Yeah, so. I know that there was discussion with chatting with them that they'll be shipping some of these early alpha models to content creators and stuff like that. So like if you're considering a pre-order, wait until these content creators get them and can show them off, can run them for reliability and performance and such, and then make your decision on a pre-order, or get it afterwards, if you're super hesitant in that regard. I mean, I'm still struggling with the price of the Locotech hash blades. I think it's still a little high for home miners like myself, but we'll kind of have to see where things end up by the end of the year.
Yeah, 100% agree with everything you said. And I think let's leave that behind us and move on to software, because this is something I'm very excited to talk about. So we're talking about like mining software, like LOL miner, Rigel miner, whatever, like what's coming. And I think I mean, the main thing is we're going to see slight performance increases on most algos, most likely. We're going to see new algorithms introduced as new coins pop up. But I think my main prediction for 2024 is that I think Fish Hash, Ironfish's new algo, I think that's going to be a bigger deal than what most people think right now. Well, I don't know what other people think about it, but I think it's going to be a big deal, and I think that might surprise a lot of people, because not only do I think it might bring a good bit of profitability with them kicking off all these hypothetical FPGAs that they think are on the network, and that's going to bring a lot of money back into the GPU mining ecosystem.
Yeah.
But with the way Fish Hash is kind of developed by 𝗨𝗨𝗣𝗑, the developer behind LolMiner, is that it's kind of along the same lines of Ergo's algorithm 𝗬𝗨𝗪𝗧 or 𝗧-hash, which means it's very suitable for dual and triple mining, but on that memory intensive side of things, which is always kind of like, so far, the memory side of like dual mining has kind of always been, well, it's 𝗬𝗏 or Ergo. And 𝗬𝗏, well, that's not an option really, because that's all ASICs. And then Ergo, because it's like on all the dual and triple mining combinations, it's like spread so thin. But with Fish Hash coming in and being an alternative there, I think that's going to that's going to turn into a bigger deal than what people might expect it to be.
Yeah, I think after the looking back, just thinking back, like with thinking about these miners and such, after the merge, a lot of these miners were chasing the next big thing. And so I feel like they were very innovative. They were jumping on board and all these different algorithms. And then I'd say over the last 12 months, things have really slowed. Like we've seen a lot of that innovation with all these miners slow down. They're not supporting a lot of these different ones. And so I'm hoping that moving into the future here, we see a lot more of that. We see that return and it makes sense. GPU mining just really wasn't profitable then. So for them to put the effort into it really wasn't there. But with things returning, I'm really looking forward to that. Having a new algorithm for Ironfish, I think is fantastic. I'm looking forward to kind of returning it to more GPU focused, and especially if profitability returns at the same time based off of the market, I think it's a great idea. I'm looking forward to it. The more miners out there that support more algorithms, like I love it. I love having those options. So we'll have to see where things go.
And another thing I want to touch on here, software-wise, is that recently Carlsen, which is this like GPU mining only fork of 𝗧𝗏, stated that they're updating their algorithm to be even more ASIC resistant, and that they're actually looking at Fish Hash. Now, I don't remember exactly what their wording was, if it was going to be them exactly just straight up using Fish Hash, which I think not, but rather they were kind of in talks with 𝗨𝗨𝗣𝗑 about him helping them implement something similar for their, Carlsen hash algorithm. But either way, I think with kind of what we might see with Carlsen might dictate a little bit how the landscape sways, because if Carlsen is successful here, being just a very outwardly spoken like ASIC resistant coin, like that is their main focus, is just to be 𝗧𝗏 but for GPUs only. If that's successful, we might see a lot more coins kind of leaning into GPU mining, which is going to be good for all of us GPU miners, because then that means more coins come into this ecosystem, and that brings in more money for all of us, basically.
Yeah, as long as these projects continue to look at use case, because I think that's the point of it. Like, we as GPU miners could be thrilled to see something completely ASIC resistant and mining it and earning a lot of yield. But if on the flip side, these projects aren't pushing to find real world use for these projects, for the use of buying of that coin versus us selling it as miners. So I think that's something that we really need to keep in mind as we move forward into 2024.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think finally, let's move on to talk a little bit about our predictions for profitability in 2024. And again, not financial advice. We don't know anything. Like, we can't tell the future about what the market will do. But I think my sort of prediction, and that is just looking historically at like the 4-year cycle and how that will play out this coming year. I think we're gonna see, you know, what we've seen these past couple of months or so with profitability kind of coming back and then being steady, maybe slowly moving upwards. I think we will see this kind of slow, steady increase in profitability throughout the year. Of course, that is probably gonna bring in more people to like turn their rigs on again, which is gonna, you know, up the network hash rate for most coins and then bring down profitability. But I think slowly we will see an increase in profitability overall. And I think there will be the occasional dips here and there, obviously, as well as pumps. And I think profitability might see a bit of a more aggressive upturn towards more the end of 2024. Because like, I think if you're looking historically, that's kind of where the like real part of the bull market is predicted to start again.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that this next 12 months, I think, are going to be this weird time period for miners. We're kind of that land between a true bear market and that bull market really hitting. I think most people are saying 2025, just with lots of things that are occurring then. The halving actually adds a lot of uncertainty. You know, we all want to say like, hey, Bitcoin's going to go through the roof, so all other coins, maybe all other coins will follow. We'll really have to see. It's definitely a tough one there. We also have this lingering ETF that could get approval within the US, which would be massive for more money coming in, which, you know, introduces a lot of things. I do agree with you that I think we're going to have these little bursts of profitability and bubbles. I mean, a great example, like the other day with 𝗘𝗑. The amount of hash rate that came on board with 𝗘𝗑, all of a sudden seeing this quick pump, like miners and hardware are sitting by just waiting. And like 𝗘𝗑 started to do well and the hash rate went through the roof, like came out of nowhere. And it's like all these people are still sitting on their 𝗘𝗑 miners just ready to use them. Same example the other day with bells with script mining. All of these, you know, like L7s and mini Doge miners that people have just held on to through the whole bear market, turn them all on. I know I did, you know, during these time period to make a little extra money, but the amount of money that was there, like with NiceHash, with bells, that was insane. It was insane to see some of this hardware make several dollars. I mean, my L7 was $65 a day at the very start of that, and it was just nuts to see those types of numbers. Like, haven't seen those numbers in forever. So I do think that it's going to be a roller coaster, I think, for the next 12 months until we get but I think everything's going to be moving in an upward direction.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you with these like very significant pumps. I think that's something we're gonna probably see more of, both for kind of like ASICs, like you talked about a little bit, but also GPUs, like you know, all these coins that have popped up recently. Like if you got in like super early on Carlson or Pyrin, like you were mining like crazy amounts for like the first couple of days, and with how frequent those kinds of pumps have been recently, I think we're gonna see more of that happening. So if you're wanting to like you know, make a good amount of money, it's probably a good bet to like really keep your like ear on the pulse of like the whole mining landscape. Check out coins as they come out and really try to be agile in a way with like what you can point your miners to, and be able to swap everything over quickly to new coins if possible.
Yeah, I think last thing I'll say there is just staying in the know is going to be really important over the next 12 months. So like keeping up with like these little pumps and things like that, and like, you know, like for me, I didn't jump on Carlson right away. Huge mistake. Now, granted, you can't jump on every new coin instantly. Like you can't be mining everything, and I get it. But look for these trends. If you start to see a little buzziness on Twitter or among YouTubers or among your like your communities, jump. Even if it's one rig, just put it on it, because that was a great example. Carson was a great example. 𝗧-𝗦𝗛𝗡 was a great example of like just getting in early, ended up being super profitable for these people, and then taking your profits and move on.
Hobbyist, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your predictions with me. And I actually have some questions for the viewers. But first, we're just going to hear a quick word from our sponsor. Coin Mining Central is an online store for ASIC miners, and there's no doubt that right now, ASIC mining is by far looking like the most profitable type of mining. And the miners that I'm personally most interested in right now would probably be the Bitmain L7 and E9 Pro, as well as the Jas-Miner X16Q. And what's cool about Coin Mining Central is that they always offer free worldwide express shipping, and I've always felt fully comfortable recommending them to you guys, and here's why. As opposed to most other ASIC vendors that are based overseas, Coin Mining Central is based and run out of England, Europe, where they have to adhere to the very strict regulations for customer support and personal detail protection that we have over here. And of course, all brand new miners come with a full manufacturer warranty as well. And because of this, Coin Mining Central has been a highly trusted ASIC miner store for miners like you and me for over 5 years at this point. They also care about this community, being very active and reachable on social media, and they've also provided loads of exclusive discount codes for you guys that you can use together with the link in the video description to save big on any miner that you want to get. And speaking of prices, I don't know if you've noticed, but ASIC prices have been dropping dramatically these past few months. So right now could be a very good time to stock up on some cheap hardware before the crypto market recovers. Especially considering you get the already competitive pricing that Coin Mining Central has, plus the free worldwide shipping, plus the exclusive discount codes that I mentioned. So go check that out today. I'll have all of those discount codes and the exclusive link for you down in the video description. Alright, so you've heard us ramble on about our predictions now, but I'm actually really genuinely curious what you guys think will happen to mining in 2024. So please leave your predictions down in the comments. I'd love to read what you guys think, and I'm probably going to be responding to a lot of your comments because I think this is very fun. I think predictions are fun, but just keep that in mind. They are just for fun. But that's it, so please subscribe for more mining videos. I'll put some other videos over there that you can watch next. So yeah, I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.